Hey, what's up? It's your boy, Jeff Releford, and I thank you for joining me on the Jeff Releford Show. Because listen, you could have been doing anything else today, right? But you chose on your way home from work, or if you just at home chilling, to tune in to the Jeff Releford Show. Now, real quick, I want to say this to you. Go ahead, tell your friends and family to download the online radio box app to your Android or your Apple device. So that way you can go ahead and listen to us on the go. And what you do is from there, you type in Biggs Radio Chicago. Okay? Biggs Radio Chicago. And also listen to our sister stations in Indianapolis, Indiana, Pasadena, California, Atlanta, Georgia. And once again, you are kicking it with Jeff Releford on the Jeff Releford Show on Biggs Radio Chicago, the voice of a new generation. Let's go. Hey, what's up? It's your boy, Life Coach Jeff, coming to you on with another episode of the Jeff Releford Show. Happy Memorial Day, everybody. Happy Memorial Day to everybody. Yes, my day has been great so far. You know, I always tell you on Monday, my day has always been great, but how has your day been for the day? You know, it's not over yet. It's 5 p.m. You know, it's 5 p.m. You might just be getting off work, or you might have had the luxury of being off today. I really hope you had the luxury of being off today, because guess what? Your boy wasn't. You know, we still got to come on the radio. But the thing is, though, it ain't about being off on the radio. I got to give this to my people. You know, I got to give this back to y'all. This ain't for me. This is for y'all. That's why I do this here. So, yes, again, happy Memorial Day to everybody. You know, let's give that respect to those veterans that we have lost, you know, those veterans, those people that we have lost. So let's show some tribute to them today. Let's remember them on today. OK, let's do that. And also, if you broke out the grill in the pit, I just want to know how come you didn't give none to me. That's all I got. I just got that one question. How come you didn't send none over here my way? Y'all know where I'm at. I'm here at the Vibe Studios, 2075 Rush Place, Lake Station, Indiana. Come on now. I'm just saying. It's all right. I feel the conviction through the airwaves. I feel it on your heart. I feel it on your heart. But anyway, yes, like I said, happy Monday, everybody, and Memorial Day. I hope everybody had a good weekend. You know, it's been great for me. You know, just go ahead, coming back, getting into the swing of things. You know, a new week means a renewed week. That means you get to start all over from scratch. Start all over from scratch. You don't have to bring those things of old into your new. I want y'all to remember that. So don't ever linger on old things. Always bring in the good with y'all. So we're going to get right to it, people. Y'all know what today is. It's Monday. So just because of Memorial Day, it don't stop, okay? We have the Jeff Releford Show, and then Mixtape Monday with Julian St. Chris, and the Dining Lynn Big Show from 8 to 10 p.m. This is Biggs Radio Monday Night Motivation. Y'all, come on now. This is what the day is. Y'all already know what it is. I don't have to repeat it. I'll tell y'all, but I'm going to tell y'all anyway. So we have myself from 5 to 6 p.m. Then Julian St. Chris with Mixtape Monday. And once again, the Dinah Lynn Big Show from 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. So y'all go ahead and, hey, if y'all have any music that wants to be played, go ahead and give us a call. If you want to call in, or if you have any music that wants to be played, or you want to inquire about being on Biggs Radio Chicago, give us a call at 773-462-4447. Once again, 773-462-4447. And also, if you have any music that you would like to be played on the station after you have called and verified with us, go ahead and reach out to us on biggsradio@gmail.com. Once again, that is biggsradio@gmail.com. And y'all also go ahead and go to biggsradio.com so y'all can check out all of our information of all of our stations, and y'all get a better understanding of what Biggs Radio is really about, okay? And shout out to the team. Shout out to everybody on the team, man. We got everybody from Chicago, Indianapolis, Atlanta, and Pasadena. And yo, we have people in Germany. Okay, we got people in Germany. So y'all, come on, man. Biggs Radio is international, baby. We out of the country with this thing. So just so y'all know, we are doing big things out here. We got all of our people on the move. We have great shows. We have great personalities. Y'all tune in from Biggs Radio Chicago, Indianapolis, Atlanta, Chicago, Indianapolis, and Germany, people. Germany. So y'all tap into that. So Oh, I got an event that I need y'all to tap into. Hold on, man. Now, I'm going to put it up here on the screen, but I got somebody who could talk about it better than me. Y'all come out to this show, Love Unity Showcase, everybody. But I got somebody who can explain it just a little bit better than me. Here we go.
2.3 Love Unity Showcase. Sunday, June 23rd at the Loft. 52 Broadway in G. With performances by Gettin Also performing live is the realest man, the General, yes, and Raw Radio in the vibe. Broadcasting 6 p.m. to 10 p.m. This event is sponsored by 1 Hour Heating and Air Conditioning in Hazelcrest. Don't miss it.
So y'all heard it, man. The Vibe will be streaming live from 6 p.m. to 10 p.m. at the Show Love Unity Showcase, featuring Shondell and Shauna hosting the event. And also DJ K Caesar will be on the ones and twos. So we have a great lineup, people. Y'all go ahead and please catch this event. And we are selling tickets as well. Reach out to your boy, Jeff Releford, if you would like tickets to this event, y'all. Come on, it's going to be a great thing. Like I said, we will be there. And if you got something going on, guess what? You just might get interviewed by us as well. That's something to look forward to, baby. So, yes, y'all definitely tune into that. And I got one more announcement, people. We got a day in the man cave. We got your boy, Life Coach Jeff Releford event coming up on June 15th from 1 to 4 p.m. at 3031 J.F. Mahoney Drive in Hammond, Indiana. Okay? So that's the Gene Shepherd Community Center for my people who are looking for the name, the Gene Shepherd Community Center. It's presented by yours truly, and this is a free event to all men. This is a male-only event. Male-only event, people. So y'all go ahead, come through. We're going to have Chase Bank in the building. We're going to have a nice food vendor. Still working on somebody for their massages, everybody. Still working on somebody so we can get pampered for the day. But we'll also have a barber coming through as well. So y'all come through and y'all be ready to talk about some issues, man, because as men, we need to come together. So that's what this is for. So y'all come out June 15th from 1 to 4 p.m. at the Gene Shepherd Community Center, 3031 J.F. Mahoney Drive in Hammond, Indiana, for a day in the man cave. So, all right, y'all. Y'all know how I roll, man. We got to get right into the subject for the day. We have to get right into the subject because for today's subject, everybody, I'm about to put it up here. Let me make sure for my watchers out there, for the people watching, let me make sure y'all know what it is. What do I do when these people are getting on my nerves? Okay. We got to talk about this today. What do you do when the people are just getting on your nerves? Because I'm going to tell you, when you go from week to week, day to day, hour to hour, everybody is not going to be your friend. Everything not always going to be peachy. Everything not always going to be right all the time for you. So you have to remember, people, what are you going to do? Excuse me, what are you going to do when these people get on your nerves? So let's talk about it today, y'all. I know what I do when people get on my nerves. Some people will say just totally disregard, and I understand it's hard to disregard. Some situations they right in your face. And when these situations happen to be right in your face, it could be, you could talk to somebody and they could be like, well, you know what, man, just leave it alone. Just go ahead and let some things wash away and pass by. Right. That's what they say. But how do you deal with that? How do you process that information? If you're angry, are you going to talk to them at the moment? I would hope you don't. I would really hope you don't. Because sometimes out of anger, things can be said. But if you do happen to get angry, we have solutions for that as well. But how do you deal with these people, man? Because it's tough sometimes. It's tough sometimes when somebody presents a situation right in your face. How are you going to react to it? Especially when people been irking you. So let's talk about it, people. I know what I would do. If somebody was getting on my nerves, sometimes I can go ahead and I could just leave you alone, right? Sometimes I can go ahead and leave you alone one good one. Because you have to always remember that, if somebody is kind of jabbing you with the low blow, it's not always good to go to that level with them. It's not always good to go to their level. It might feel good at the moment. And guess what? You might slip up and you might actually go to that same level that they on. But no good never comes out of that unless you're going to go to conflict resolution route at the end. You always want to make sure, man, that you're not saying nothing too crazy out here in these streets, because I've been in some situations in my younger years and even in life as I'm older, where sometimes you can't take some of them words back. I'm human just like everybody else is. And guess what? I know you are too, listening on the other end. So sometimes what we have to do is we have to take what people say to us and we got to learn how to process that information. Okay. So sometimes correctly processing that information can just be you just listening. Sometimes you just got to shut the heck up and listen to what's being said to you. Well, guess what, people? I know it can be hard. I know it's hard out here. Somebody says something unfavorable to you, and what do you want to do? Our first response is to always give them something back, especially if you don't like it, right? You want to go ahead and do the jab, do the low blow. I get it, because I've been there where I want to punch too, but you can't punch. You can't punch. You got to go ahead and find a way to listen, not to react or respond, but listen to comprehend. So that's the first thing you could do. You can listen to comprehend. And guess what? If somebody if they getting on your nerves that bad, you can politely tell them that, hey, you know what? Right now at this particular moment, I do not have the mental capacity to really take in what you're giving. You can kindly tell people if they're going to bring that negativity to you, you don't have to receive it. Or if they don't want to hear it and they want to keep going with it, just simply walk away. Just simply walk away. I had a situation where I was offering a suggestion to somebody. And when I offered a suggestion to somebody, what happened was, they ended up snapping, jabbing out on me. And I did the same. I jabbed out right back. I often tell people sometimes you ain't going to get it from Life Coach Jeff unless you give it back to me. Now, let me clarify this. That's not always the case. Okay? Now, that's not always the case. I'm going to let you know, your boy just don't be out here jabbing out on people just because. I hope that you are not that type of person that just kind of lashes out at people just because that's not a good thing. Okay? Consider things that can come out of your mouth that can possibly be hurtful to other people. You have to consider consequences and repercussions for your actions. Okay. Now, simply all I mean by that is you have to remember, for every action, there's always a response or a reaction. Now, depending on what you put out there, you either go get it good or bad, baby. That's just what it boils down to. Depending on what it is, you're going to get it good or bad. So know yourself. That's a good thing too. Knowing thyself. You know what I mean? I've said that a lot of times. Knowing thyself, making sure that you are putting out some good vibes. So that way them good vibes can come to you. And I also understand on the flip side of that too. Guess what? On the flip side of that, I also understand that sometimes when you put out good vibes, they're not going to always be received. Okay? They're not going to always be received. So I get it. But even when your good vibes aren't being received, that doesn't mean you have to go ahead and go low as they going. You can always go a little higher. You can always aim to shoot high for the good, because like I said, every low blow that comes out, man, listen, that's just more conflict resolution that has to follow. Honestly, even if you said something out of anger and even if you give a good justification behind it, your justification could make a lot of sense. But you have to remember, on the other end, somebody going to always tell you, they always going to say, well, what was your point and reason for lashing out? Because guess what? To you, it could have meant something. But for the other person, they like, you should have never done that to me. You didn't have to go ahead and give me some hardcore words behind what you said. You didn't have to give me them curse words behind what you said. You didn't have to give me that attitude, that extra, Keep in mind that everybody's perception is always different. Everybody's perception of what is good and bad and always what is received and not received, it has a tendency to get skewed sometimes. So guess what? Newsflash, people, you're not always right. I'm not always right. You're not always right. We all have different things that we go through. But I'm telling you, man, when these people get on your nerves, Jesus, ooh-wee, because they get on mine too sometimes. They get on mine too. But a lot of times what you got to do is, as men, I'll tell you this, as men, we tend to do is we tend to pocket things. Y'all ever heard that phrase, men are like waffles and women are like spaghetti? And I'll explain that to you. Men are like waffles because we know how to just pocket certain things. You ever put the syrup in the waffle, and when you put the syrup in the waffle, you see how the syrup is nicely pocketed in that square. Well, it don't matter how big or small it is, it's going to stay in that square. It ain't going to go nowhere unless you flip it or turn it around and it's going to come out. But for the most part, that syrup is in that square. That's how men are. We know how to section off things from here and there, right? We know how to section off things. And when we section off these things, we simply put it to the side and we'll come back to that particular thing later. That's how we roll. Now, with women being like spaghetti, it's like this, spaghetti noodles are very loose, right? Let's say you got the whole pot of spaghetti noodles, right? And you mixed in your sauce and all that, and you go to get in and you go to eat with your fork, right? You dip it in there, do a little turn around, but as you lift up, picture one noodle. You pull out one noodle, and when you pull out that one noodle, it's tugging on a lot of different entities, a lot of other noodles. Picture those noodles as your emotions, your events that go on throughout the day. So the greatest example I can give is, let's say a woman wakes up with a stomach ache. That stomach ache internally affects her and externally affects the rest of her day. That sets the tone for the rest of the day. That stomach ache. And if my wife was here, she would say that usually happens because women are more so emotional creatures. That's what my wife would say if she was here right now. But it holds some sense. It makes some sense. It holds some validity to it. But that's how men are like waffles and women tend to be like spaghetti. That one thing that bothers them, it pulls and it tugs on everything around, and it emotionally creates something for the rest of your day. Whereas men, we have to deal with things as they come. So we could put something to the side, worry about it, and bring it up later. Or completely just push it off to the side and don't bring it up again. We have the ability to do that. But that's how you deal with these people, man. I'm trying to tell you, sometimes we all have to go ahead. We have to learn how to pocket these things. We have to learn how to just say, you know what? Maybe I'm not in the good state or space mentally right now to deal with a certain situation. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just simply go ahead, sit this off to the side, right? Sit it off to the side and then go ahead and deal with this later. That's what I'm going to do. And it's good if we all go ahead and we have that best practice, because if we have that best practice, all it allows us to do is just to get better at our listening. Okay? Keep in mind, people, it allows us to get better at our listening. It allows us to get better at the things that we can process a little bit better, right? Listening and taking in information allows us to process it better. So let's learn to be better processors. Right? If we could be better processors of what we receive, then maybe these people still might get on your nerves. These people still might bother you some. It might be still worrisome to you. But on the flip side of that, you can at least try to learn where they're coming from or understand where they're coming from. I feel that if you choose to understand where somebody's coming from, that means you have a heart, right? That means you have a heart. That means you feel like paying attention. You can listen to somebody. So once again, let's learn how to process these things. But I understand, these people are getting on your nerves. And they might work the last one. If they work the last nerve, how you going to snap on them? I can give them look here. I give them a piece of my mind. I gave some people a piece of my mind before. But you got a decision to make. If you snap, are you willing to deal with what's going to come after that? Or are you just going to stand your ground good enough to where, because don't get me wrong, man, people, y'all can come out hard with the tongue. and make sure you stand your ground. And people just say, you crazy. And they don't want to deal with you at all. Right? I've been there. Well, I gave somebody a real good tongue lashing. Gave somebody the best one in the world. I done gave it out real good. And they left me alone and nobody said nothing to me. They probably said, man, Life Coach Jeff out here crazy. This was before I was Life Coach Jeff, okay? Before the Life Coach Jeff came in to play. Trying to, bring in these certain practices to bring your mind down a little bit, calm yourself, and bring your emotions at ease, I used to be a hothead. I really did. And it still takes a lot for me to get angry to this day. It really does. It still takes a lot for me to get angry to this day. But for the most part, now I tend to let a lot of stuff roll off my back because at the end of the day, you can't change a lot of your situations. Now, what I mean by a lot of your situations is that normally you make a choice. And this can even be with people. Like I said, people get on your nerves. These people getting on your nerves. Like, for instance, I decided to get into a situation at work that it would directly affect me if I was to make a lateral move up. So that's why I chose to get into this thing a little bit. But you tend to find out that a lot of times when you are somebody that stands for change and stands for good and wanting to understand processes so you could know how things work, you're always the one that gets shunned out. So that was my situation. I ended up getting shunned out a little bit. But how did I deal with that? I was upset for a little bit, but at the end of the day, I had to just let it go. Because there are times, people, when we have to learn to wipe the slate clean. Let me repeat that to you. There are times when we have to learn to wipe the slate clean. And if you wipe the slate clean, you can end up making your situation a little bit better for yourself. Because what you've done is you've shifted your focus. That's what you've done. You shifted your focus on potentially the things that matter to you the most. I'm not talking about other people. I'm talking about the things that matter to you the most. And that is why when people get on your nerves, it is very key and critical to take and redirect that energy to a different area that can most benefit you. I'm just trying to say a little something out here for the people. Let's give a couple shout outs, man. Shout outs to Teresa Keys, who tuning in, Nicole Vernado, and also Nikisha Kenyatta Spiller. We thank y'all for tuning in and listening for the day, and the other many listeners that are tuning in. Also, just want to go ahead, shout out a few there as we moving on. But once again, man, these people, these people getting on your nerves. I sat up here and told you how to look at a couple things. I've told you to process some information a little bit. Learn how to process some information before you can, before you start to react to people sometimes, right? Because at the end of the day, the reason why I'm talking about this subject is because, once again, we all go through certain things in life. But what we have to do is we all have to learn how to control that inner peace within us. We all have to learn how to control that inner peace within us. If we all learn how to control that inner peace within us, shoot, come on now. The sky's the limit for your happiness. So see, although these people may get on my nerves, they ain't gonna, as my boy Monic says, they ain't gonna throw me off my square, right? They're not gonna throw me off of my square. So sometimes you got to remain planted, steadfast, and immovable in what you believe in. Now, I know I took that and I applied that. You can apply that to God, but it's also a life principle as well for the different things that you want to do in life. Thank you, Teresa Keys. She said she loves the show. Thank you, ma'am. And as always, I appreciate you just listening and tuning in to the Jeff Releford Show. Because as the intro says, you could have been doing anything, but you chose to tune in to Jeff Releford on the Jeff Releford Show. And I thank you for that. Thank you, Miss Keys. And yes, y'all go ahead. Once again, tell your people, tag some people in this who just need some help with dealing with people in general. Share this bad boy. Let them know. For my listeners on the online radio box app, go ahead, man. Tell your people to listen to this joker because I'm telling you, as a people, and in the world we live in today, there are just so many things, man. It's so many things to agitate us. Oh my God. I saw a video today where this man and woman were just snapping on each other. It was a reel. They were just snapping on each other about something little and small. It seemed like it was something little and small. You know how the reels go. Whenever they put reels on like a TikTok or Facebook or YouTube, they don't ever give you no context. It's always for shock value, right? But I guarantee you, what they were probably fussing about was probably something small. It even could have been big. But once again, when somebody gets on your nerves and they saying something unfavorable to you, how are you going to respond to that? How are you going to take that? Are you going to be the one to just go ahead and lash out very hard? Or are you going to be the one to go ahead and just make sure, right? Are you going to make sure that you can comprehend some things? Because I'm telling you, I feel that one of the biggest things in our society today that we miss out on is comprehension. Lord. You know, they teach us comprehension in school, but comprehension in school out of a book and comprehension in real life are two different avenues. I got to let y'all know that those are two very much so different avenues. Because comprehension in a book is what they teaching you to just understand on their level for a standardized test. But you got to comprehend people in life, yo. You got to learn how to deal with people in life. Because folks will try you. Maybe not every day. Even if you ain't been tried, one day you will get tried by somebody or a situation. And you just got to figure out how you going to roll with it, baby. Just got to figure out how you going to roll with it. We are at half past the hour. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to remind y'all where y'all at real quick. So for a minute and 7 seconds, as I like to say, I'm going to go ahead and remind y'all where we at and stay tuned to the Jeff Releford Show. Hey, what's up? It's your boy, Jeff Releford, and I thank you for joining me on the Jeff Releford Show. Because listen, you could have been doing anything else today, right? But you chose on your way home from work, or if you just at home chilling, to tune in to the Jeff Releford Show. Now, real quick, I want to say this to you. Go ahead, tell your friends and family to download the online radio box app to your Android or your Apple device. So that way you can go ahead and listen to us on the go. And what you do is from there, you type in Biggs Radio Chicago. Okay? Biggs Radio Chicago. And also listen to our sister stations in Indianapolis, Indiana, Pasadena, California, Atlanta, Georgia. And once again, you are kicking it with Jeff Releford on the Jeff Releford Show on Biggs Radio Chicago, the voice of a new generation. Let's go. Man, what did I say? A minute and 7 seconds, and we are right back, people. Once again, thank y'all for tuning in to the Jeff Releford Show today on Memorial Day. You know, I know some of y'all might be listening. Y'all done broke out them pits, and I asked early at the beginning of the show, how come you just didn't give me some of y'all food? Y'all didn't offer Jeff Releford a plate. Y'all didn't say, hey, I got something for your boy here. You know, I'm your boy, life coach Jeff Releford. Come on now. All I want is a hot dog. I don't want no carrot dog. Now, I've been seeing these posts. I don't know if y'all been paying attention. These carrot dogs been going around. That is false advertisement. I am not down for the carrot dog. It might be good, but I don't want the carrot dog. Give me a beef hot dog and I'm straight. Can I have that? Can I have it? Just give me a beef hot dog and I'm straight and I'm good. Or Polish and I'm straight. But anyway, once again, people, we talk about dealing with these people today, y'all. Y'all read it on the bottom. I've said it for the listeners out there. What do I do when these people are getting on my nerves? Because I'm telling you, yo, they will work your last one. They will work your last one with a passion. And you know something I found out too? One thing I found out is, remember we talked about that internal peace, right? We talked about that internal peace, like nobody being able to knock you off of your square, right? So if nobody is able to knock you off your square, that means who does that fall on for you not to react? That falls on you. Come on now, people. Come on now. It falls on you. It just, and see, it's not, when I say it falls on you, that's not meant to be harsh or brash or to make you look at yourself and say, oh, I'm just this bad person. Nah, you're not a bad person. I'm trying to excite y'all, let y'all know, Take control of your life. You have been given a beautiful thing called life. Life is something that should be lived to the fullest. And if you are out here worrying about people, and I know it's hard, especially in the realm that I'm in with entertainment people. When you dealing with entertainment or you work at jobs where you have to go directly working with people to people, person to person, it'll try you. It definitely will try you, because we come up with different obstacles come our way, and we have to try to find different solutions to work through different problems. So it can work your nerve when you working with people to people. It can work your nerve. But remember, you are in control. Like I said, people, you have one life to live. And One Life to Live, it was a real good soap opera. I don't know if y'all used to tune into that. I did. Rest in heaven, my grandmother, love her to death, loved her to death. And we used to watch all them soap operas. And One Life to Live was one of the soap operas we was watching with General Hospital and Young and the Restless, all that stuff. I know some of y'all know what that is. Some of y'all listeners, y'all know what the Young and the Restless is. Y'all know what all that stuff is. I don't know if that stuff still come on. I believe General Hospital still come on. But anyway, had a flashback, had a real quick flashback, everybody. But yes, man, you got one life to live, and you got to live it to the fullest. So don't allow people to dictate or regulate you. I always tell people, man, if you're causing any hurt, harm, or danger to yourself, all right, that means it's not fun. That means you're turning into a bad area to use as a coping mechanism, or you're just making bad decisions. We don't want you to make bad decisions. We want you to make good, positive decisions that will greatly affect your life in a much more positive way for your life. Much more better way of thinking for you. Because I'm telling you, I got a friend, Mary. Big ups to Mary. Shout out to Mary Selena K. Oh, man, I understand. My girl, she worked her job, and things happen. Things happen with people. I'm telling you, man, she does casework. And I got a case that I work on Saturdays, too, with these two kids. And it's amazing. It's wonderful to give back to children. But other people who do casework have to deal with the parents. I am very blessed and favored to not have to deal with the parent side too much of it. I still got to communicate some things to the parents, let them know what's going on. Sometimes you have to mediate situations between kids and stuff. And that's what you got to do. But man, you see a lot of stuff on that job too, man. So with dealing with that, you got to pocket these things. A lot of times, people, you can't take your issues back home with you. Don't even take it to the car with you. Once you get to the end of that door, once you get to that doorstep of your workplace or whatever it is, leave it there. Leave it there. Because it's either going to be one of two things. It's either going to dissipate when you come back, or it just might be there. So then you got to find a solution for it, or, go ahead and find a way for it to be, for the pressure to be alleviated off you a little bit. But yes, leave a lot of that stuff at the door, because it ain't worth it. It's not worth getting angry, mad, upset about certain things. Now, I do understand that certain things will bother people, like I said, especially when you're working people to people, directly with somebody, and either a task has to get done or it doesn't get done, or maybe a vision might not be seen that you are trying to complete with people. It just might not make sense to them, but it makes sense to you. A lot of times we got to learn how to just leave that joker be. Leave it be for your own sanity. Leave it be for your own peace, Because let me tell you something. Life ain't gravy all the time, people. Life ain't gravy all the time. The mashed potatoes ain't smooth. Sometimes you gonna get a lump, and you might get a little bit of that skin in there. You might not like it. It might be a little discomforting to you, but you might run across that bad boy, right? So a lot of times we just got to adapt, yo. We got to adapt. We got to pay attention to what's around us, and we cannot let people dictate or affect our own lives. I just wanted that to sink in. That's why I got quiet. I just wanted to sink in. Because who knows? I don't know. Maybe you are that person. Maybe you might not be that person, or you are that person that really cares about what people might think about you. I used to be that person when I was younger. And I'm not even going to front to you. Even now, as I make my moves, I do care about what people think to an extent. what you want to do is you want to try to set a good example as much as you can. So let's be honest, people. Let's just be honest. Majority of the time, don't we want to set a good example for people? Don't we want to set a good example? We want to be a good example. We want to be the light, right? We want to be the light. Once again, my people believe in God out here. You want to be that light for people. You want to be that beacon. So go ahead and be that beacon. Go ahead and be that beacon. And if somebody tries to dim the light, it's okay. It's okay. Sometimes you just got to learn how to remain strong, people. You just got to remain strong. Life ain't always hard all the time. It's not always giving too much, Sometimes life may hit you. Life, man, I'd have been hit with the gut punch, a real good gut punch. And but at the end of the day, you have a choice. You could turn that joke into a 3 count, a 1 count, a 2 count, 3 count, 4 count, 5 count, or you can go all the way to 10 and you can get knocked out. For my boxing people, for my people who know boxing, you have 10 counts, and usually when you get to that 10 count, go past the 10, they call the fight. So you don't want your fight to be called. You have enough wherewithal and sense to work through and get through the fight. It might not seem like that when you get there and you start dealing with people in the beginning, but you got enough mental fortitude to deal with it. Maybe not at that moment, but once that thing passes, you'll realize that you had enough mental fortitude to deal with the person, to deal with the situation, and then you could get right through it. Because what do we say, people? What do I do when these people get on my nerves? So yes, everybody, what I want to do is I want to go ahead and let y'all know I have another thing coming up. And I want to let y'all know what we got coming up real quick. I'm going to let y'all hear this real fast, and we will be right back. Y'all saw that. And for the people that are listening, I want to let y'all know what that was. Y'all saved the date for June 16th, everybody, because we did a Father's Day episode taping of Shop Talk 7. A few of the men that I know and I deal with, we all had a chance to sit around at the round table and discuss some things. So y'all tune in to that on Shop Talk 7. It's a Father's Day special, y'all. I was very candid. I was sharing some things. I was being very open. So if y'all want to see a different side of Jeff Releford, the life coach, if y'all want to see a different side, a little more tender-hearted side, where we talking about a couple men's issues, y'all tune into that. It's myself, Media Monix, D. Smith, period. Dennis, get this D. That's his name. I hate to say it, but I got to say it because that's how he does it. And RMF Reggie moving forward, and Dr. J, the comedian. We all just sat down, y'all, and we did that taping for Shop Talk 7. It was dope, yo. It was dope. So y'all check that out on Father's Day. We are going to make sure we air that for y'all. And listen, because we talked about some good stuff. And also, people, once again, I got to let y'all know we are at the Vibe Studios, people. That consists of Ron Reed, the VNO, myself, Redirect, Regroup, Refocus, Smooch Wallace. Who is Smooch Wallace? Come on now. If you don't know him, you got to get to know him. And Mary Selena K of Rock Truth Radio. We are here at 2075 Rush Place in Lake Station, Indiana. We will produce your podcast and or your radio show. So y'all hit us up, man, because we got big things coming out of this studio here. Big things coming out the studio. And once again, we are talking about what do you do? What do I do when these people get on my last nerves? Ooh-wee. Ooh-wee. What do I do when these people get on my last nerves? I'm trying to tell you, once again, we have talked about great things. We have talked about how to process the information. We have talked about what to do when people go ahead and they work in that last one. What you gonna do about it? Are you going to tell them? Are you just going to tell them, hey, I don't want to process the information right now. I can't deal with it right now. I need some positivity in my life. I don't want to hear it if it's going to be negative. Can you tell them that nicely? Or are you just simply going to walk away? Are you simply going to walk away? Or are you just not going to deal with it at all? Because I'm telling you, some of us, we don't want to deal with it at all. And I commend people because, see, I got a heart to want to help people. I commend y'all. If y'all listening and watching out there, I commend y'all. Those people who could just leave stuff alone. Just leave it alone. See, I have a heart to help people. That's my biggest problem. I got a heart to help people. Excuse me. Lamont, what's going on? What's up, big dog? Nothing much, man. Sitting up here talking about what you do when these people get on your nerves, sir. That's what we talk about. I'm saying right now, one of the biggest headaches that I have is that I like to help people. So I commend people that could just leave certain people in situations alone. Because with me, sometimes I like to overextend my help. And sometimes me overextending my help hurts me at times. That hurts me. I'm getting better at it. I'm getting a lot better at it. But sometimes that joker will hit and it will hurt. So, what are you doing to people getting on your nerves and you still want to help? What do you do? If you still want to help, you can see the writing on the wall for anything and everybody. You can look at a certain situation and say, we could do that better. But I'm going to tell you right now, sometimes it's just best for you to walk away. You don't ever want to be somewhere where you're not being received, where no one wants to listen to what you have to say. That's not a place. That's not a spot where you want to be in. Try to put yourself in situations where you could be accepted. And I'm not saying you have to be accepted by other people. I'm not saying that. I'm saying that make sure you're in circles, okay? Make sure you're in circles where people will go ahead and at least listen to the information that you're giving them. Now, they can do whatever with the advice. They can do whatever with the words. But at least make sure you're around some people that can hear you one good one. Because that's all it takes. Because like I always tell people, we always have these basic needs that need to be met. We all want to be heard, loved, and respected. That's it. Heard, loved, and respected. That's all we want. So if we go ahead and if we pay attention to those things, we're going to be good out here in this world. My man Lamont said, I am like that as well. And it will hurt, but I have learned that you can't help everyone because some people don't want your help. Hey, big dog, you are not lying. Some people do not want your help. And that's true. So a lot of times as the person, as the people, as me and you, we like to help. We have to learn how to just say, hey, dog, I see what you got going on. But nah. If you good, I'm good. If I'm good, you good. Right? If you good, I'm good. If I'm good, you good. Everybody gonna be happy. That way we don't have to go ahead and keep running this dog into the ground. We don't have to beat the dead horse all the time because it's already dead. If the horse is already dead, why are you gonna keep beating it? If the milk is already spilled, why are you gonna cry that the milk is already spilled? Go ahead, wipe it up. Don't leave the milk there, people, because the milk is sour. I would want you to clean up the milk. Okay. No sour milk on people's tables. But anyway, that's what you do, man. A giving heart is something that can really, a giving heart it's a good thing. A giving heart is a good thing, but also a giving heart has its downfall. So as you being a giving person, if you are a very giving person, just learn how to pick and choose your battles a little bit. Learn how to be around those who will want to receive your information. Like I said earlier, not everybody gonna want to receive it. So practice that skill, that great skill of just walking away. It'll help out. Because these people gonna get on your last nerve. And when they get on your last nerve, it is not their job to disrupt your peace. They might come to disrupt your peace, but it's not their job to disrupt your peace. It is your job to keep your peace inwardly. So that way you can go ahead and create a better situation, better outcome, which then in turn leads to your better tomorrow. Because if they can affect your today, I'm going to tell you this, if people can affect your today, they can dang sure affect your tomorrow. But you got to recognize that. You got to recognize and see where your tomorrow can be affected. Okay? So if you're going to recognize where your tomorrow can be affected, grab a hold of it. Grab life by the horns today. What did I say earlier when I made them soap opera references? I said, you only got one life to live. One life to live. So go ahead and live it. But don't live it dictated by others. Don't live it with you trying to people please. Oh, that's a big one. I think I'm going to do one episode just on people pleasing alone. What my man Lamont said, you said it, the inner peace is key. Yes. Inner peace. And inner peace, I'm going to be honest with y'all. When I do a lot of these shows, inner peace is the key to a lot of this stuff. Inner peace is the key to a lot of the content that I provide to all of you. But you're in a flesh body. You are a human. So you have different emotions. You have different things that you think about. You have different mindsets and all of that nature. So a lot of times we got to tackle that stuff first before we can even get to the inner peace part. And that's what a lot of us don't want to do, because that's when the work begins. That is when the work begins, everybody. So it's okay. It's okay to put in a little bit of work. Never be scared of the work to put in for change, people. Don't be scared of the work to put in for change. Because if you're scared of the work to put in for change, you'll never get to where you want to go. You just won't do it. Now, I love the fact that you have a desire to get there. That's great. We all have a desire to be better in some way, shape, or form. But if you're scared of the change, that road is going to be just that much tougher for you down the line. So once again, people, dealing with these fools when they get on your nerves. I call them fools. I called them fools. Because some of these people are fools. Okay, some of them are fools. I ain't saying everybody you come across is a fool. But some of these people are fools. What you do when you're dealing with these fools, man, this can be on the job. This can just be dealing with everyday life. You might come across somebody in a grocery store and they might just approach you the wrong way. Keep your peace, people. Don't jab out. Because I know you want to. Believe me, I want to too. But do not jab out. Because a lot of times this is what happens, everybody. Because like the old saying goes, 2 wrongs do not make a right. And at some point in time, we got to believe that. We got to believe that. We have to believe that 2 wrongs don't make a right. Now, 2 wrongs can come to a conflict resolution. Okay? Always remember that. 2 wrongs have the potential to come to a conflict resolution. Okay? But somebody has to make that first move. Somebody has to excite that. You know. Sometimes you can exhaust that altogether by just keeping your cool, having another person say and do what they're going to do, keep your cool, and then you just walk away from it. I've had situations where I've had to do that. You know, when nothing has to be said, I just choose to keep my distance, because you have to keep your distance away from certain people. You know, it's just as simple as that. And that might be the easier route for you. Honestly, that just might end up being the easier route for you. Because these things, let's remember, everybody too, these things take time. You know, everything that I'm saying today is not going to come overnight. Sometimes to break out of these habits that we've had for so long, it takes a lot of repetition. It takes a lot of eagerness. It takes a lot of, believing in yourself and telling yourself, okay, I can do this. But you have to believe in you first. If you don't believe in you first, it'll be very tough for a lot of things to get done in your life in particular. Because once again, people, this is about what you do when these fools get on your nerves, Jesus. When these people get on your nerves, I'm trying to tell you, it's something out here, man. It is something. But guess what? Like I said, life is too short. You got one life to live, everybody. So if you can live that one life, go ahead, live it well. So real quick, everybody, I'm going to go ahead. I want to give a shout out to the chat. Shout out to Lamont Hedgespeth. I'm sorry, dog. If I butchered that, I'm sorry. I'm going to call you Lamont H, okay? We're going to do Lamont H. Shout out to Lamont H, Teresa Keys, Nicole Bernardo, Nikisha Spiller, Ron Reed. All right. Who else we got? And we got several other people on here, man. I'm just not going to read down the names, not going to read down the line, because you know what, y'all? I have given y'all enough today. I've given y'all enough to dwell on. I've given y'all enough to think about. So I just want to leave y'all with this. Always remember that you are the protector of your own peace. And the moment that you let that guard down, you allow situations and people to have that control over your life. So, all right, y'all. You didn't, but that's cool, big dog. Oh, what was that? I missed that, Lamont. Oh, I didn't butcher it. Okay, well, that's good. I didn't butcher it. Okay, that's good, big dog. I'm glad. But all right, y'all, remember, it's your boy, Life Coach Jeff, and I thank each and every one of y'all for tuning in to another episode of the Jeff Releford Show. And guess what, y'all? We will be back here next week at the same time, at the same place in the Vibe Studios. And also, y'all tune in Wednesday to the Redirect, Regroup, Refocus podcast, because we'll be right back here in the Vibe Studios again. But I thank y'all for tuning in to the Jeff Releford Show. And remember, Redirect, Regroup, Refocus. I love y'all. Peace out. Hey, what's up? It's your boy, Jeff Releford, and I thank you for joining me on the Jeff Releford Show. Because listen, you could have been doing anything else today, right? But you chose on your way home from work, or if you just at home chilling, to tune in to the Jeff Releford Show. Now, real quick, I want to say this to you. Go ahead, tell your friends and family to download the online radio box app to your Android or your Apple device. So that way you can go ahead and listen to us on the go. And what you do is from there, you type in Biggs Radio Chicago. Okay? Biggs Radio Chicago. And also listen to our sister stations in Indianapolis, Indiana, Pasadena, California, Atlanta, Georgia. And once again, you are kicking it with Jeff Releford on the Jeff Releford Show on Biggs Radio Chicago.